Thank you all for joining today. My name is Chelsea and I'm with Navia Benefit Solutions. Many of you who work regularly on the FSA and DCAP programs may have recognized the names Chelsea Allen and Sally Lindsley, as we are your main account managers for the SEBB, FSA, and DCAP benefits. And today, as he said, we are going to be talking about the Navia Employer Portal. This is an exciting new change. I'm going to go through exactly what's changing, exactly what's not changing, and what you can all expect moving forward. So let me go to the next slide here. So what is changing is that the SEBB benefits administrators who currently work with Navia on the FSA and DCAP administration are going to gain limited access to Navia's employer portal, and that launch date is happening July 13th. That is middle of the week date. I believe it's a Wednesday, so something to keep in mind. That's when it's going live. And so anything you're doing now, especially for your end of June payroll, all of that is going to be normal process. Nothing's going to change until July 13th. And then also wanted to call out for anyone who may have joined this webinar unsure if this information pertains to them. It's not going to pertain to you if you do not work on the FSA and DCAP administration specifically. So feel free to drop off if that's not you at your district. And then, so through this portal, the employer portal, you will be given access to securely upload your monthly payroll deduction files that you're already submitting to Navia through SEBB My Account, and any member forms, any paper forms that you get, for example, during open enrollment or mid-year for new hires or changes. Those can all be securely uploaded through this portal platform. Again, effective as of that launch date, July 13th, all payroll files and signed forms must be submitted through this portal. And we'll get into the details of what's going to happen with SEBB My Account as well. Okay. So first step is going to be registration. So it's important to note that you have to register for the Navia portal using your existing SAW account. So everyone should have an existing SAW admin login, and that's what you're going to use to connect it to the Navia employer portal. Quick side note, if you happen to not have a SAW admin account, then you'll want to go to visit SEBB My Account, visit the user guide, and that's going to walk you through how to actually create that SAW login. But my understanding is most of you already have that. So what you'll want to do if you already have that SAW login, you're going to go to Navia's employer portal at seb.naviabenefits.com. And you will click the admin login button that you see here in the screenshot. And when you click that admin login, it's going to take you to a screen you should be familiar with for SAW. It's going to be the SAW welcome page. Here is where you enter that SAW username and password that you're already using as your admin account. It will ask you to complete what we call the multi-factor authentication, things you might be familiar with most companies use nowadays, where you will be texted or emailed a code. You have to put that code in to verify you are who you say you are to access the account. Once you complete those steps on that SAW welcome screen, you're going to get moved back to the Navia portal to finish out your registration. So what you need to do just to finish it out is to put in your first name, your last name, and your email address. Note that that email address should be the one that you currently use for your admin account for SEBB My Account. I know that I wanted to stress that point because some people do have their own member account. If you are enrolled in the FSA or DCAP yourself, you're going to want to use your admin email address for this purpose. Now, if you get to this step and it says that the system doesn't recognize you, that could be that we just have your email address wrong, or it could be that you are a new administrative contact that we don't have your information for. Because what this step is doing is it's checking Navia's system to verify that we have your contact information already on file. So if you hit this step and you have trouble, no problem, just contact Navia. At the end of the slides, I will have a phone number and an email address so that you can contact the SEBB account management team, the team that Sally and I manage, directly for help getting you updated as a contact, or, correct a misspelling on your email address or anything like that. So keep that in mind, and we'll make sure you have that contact information for any questions. That being said, of course, this is a big launch. There's plenty of you, hundreds of you, who are going to be registering on this portal. So it's, we do ask for a little bit of patience during that first week or two. There could be hiccups, there could be misspellings, there could be contacts incorrect or not updated. Just bear with us and let us know if you are experiencing that issue. Like I said, reach out to the team and we'll make sure to get that updated. One thing we want to encourage is that as of the launch, so remember, launch is happening July 13th, do please come onto the Navia site and try to register that week if you can. Just try to get it out of the way. Even if you don't have a payroll happening until the end of July, it's just not a bad idea to try and work out the kinks early so that you're not waiting until end of the month. You finally have your payroll. You've got to get it in right away. And then you find out you're running into an issue. We encourage you to get comfortable with the system as soon as possible, as close to that launch date. So wanted to make sure that's mentioned. A quick reminder here too on these registration steps. These only have to happen once. You will go through this registration process one time, and then your SAW account will be connected to your Navia account. So moving forward, the login process is much quicker. You'll just click admin login, it'll connect to your SAW account and take you right in. So just remember that. Couple other things to call out before we leave the topic of registration. If I scroll back a page here, remember that your username and your password in this situation are going to be your SAW username and password. So if you do forget that information or you need to reset your password, that is not something Navia will be able to help you with. It's not connected to our portal. It is the SAW account. So you're going to want to use the forgot username and forgot password on that SAW portal, website, in order to reset that username or password. Okay, make sure I didn't forget anything in my notes.
Chelsea,
yeah.
There's just one question. Is there a limit to how many people can be on the account?
There is not.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, we only want the people on there who do need access for updating forms and files regarding the FSA and DCAP. So we don't want to add people on there who don't need the permissions. But there isn't a number limit, no.
All right, thank you.
Chelsea, I also wanted to add something really fast before you move on.
Sure.
When also wanted to call out, if you have recently had staffing changes at your district with the folks working on the FSA DCAP payroll and HR, and we also would encourage you to make sure that information gets updated on SEBB My account really as soon as possible. If you can do it before the launch, that will make it more likely that the contact information will be correct when people are trying to register, and we won't basically have out-of-date contact information.
Great point. Thank you so much. So early July is when Healthcare Authority is going to be sending us an updated contact list to get put into our system prior to launch. So to Sally's point, the sooner you can make sure that the SEBB My account contacts are correct, the more up-to-date that list is going to be that we get. Okay. Any other questions on that registration piece before I move on? All right. So let's talk now about what's going to happen after you register. What does it look like in the portal, and what's the purpose of the portal? So really, the purpose of the portal is to help you guys and to create a streamlined, secure, user-friendly interface where you can be confident that your information was uploaded and received successfully by Navia. Some of you may know that there was some conversation between the districts and the HCA after open enrollment to gather feedback of how could we improve the open enrollment process? What are the major pain points? And a few things came up about visibility, not knowing if for example, if you fax in an enrollment form and that fax fails or is incomplete, not knowing that that's happened, or employees not being enrolled because information wasn't getting over correctly, non-secure methods of sending forms in. For example, if you don't want to email a form into Navia because it has a social security number on it, maybe you don't have access to a secure email platform. All of that feedback, as well as the feedback on the monthly payroll file process, same type of thing, not having visibility, not knowing the file was received, and being unsure that it's going to post or what amount it's going to post for. Those are the problems we're trying to solve here. And we think the employer portal is going to go a long way in solving those. It is basically taking the place of SEBB My Account for the purpose of uploading those monthly payroll files. And then it's taking the place of like email or fax for the purpose of those paper forms. So we'll go into that in a little more clear detail, but wanted to let you guys know that that feedback and trying to make the process easier and more secure for you guys is the catalyst to all of this. That being said, we might get questions about viewing more data on the portal as far as pulling employee balances, making updates yourself. Those of you who have worked with other administrators or with Navia prior to being a part of SEBB might be used to a more interactive portal where you can make manual updates to individual accounts. To let you guys know, we're not there yet. This portal is not going to serve that purpose. So we still need the forms and we still need the files. But those are things that we're hopefully looking to enhance further down the road. So once we get you guys on the portal and used to it with your limited access, hopefully, in the future, as we enhance visibility and we enhance features, we'll be able to come back to you and share those enhancements and release them to you on the portal. So that was a question that came up in the last webinar I wanted to make sure to address here. All right, so again, you've registered on the portal, you're in the portal. The two things that you're gonna do on the portal. One is reporting your contributions. So what that process looks like today is every SEBB district uploads an FSA and DCAP payroll contribution file. You guys are already doing this. Many of you have different payroll systems as to how you're retrieving that file, but it's all in the same format everyone's using, and then you are uploading that to SEBB My Account today on the FSA DCAP page. What happens there is it then gets picked up by the HCA, pushed over to Navia. Navia then processes the file and posts the money to employees' accounts. So right now, the issues with that is you guys don't have much visibility as to was the file received, and the timing on that can take a little bit longer than typical because it has to go from one system to another. So we're basically cutting out a step. Moving forward, you're going to take that same exact payroll file. And I want to be clear that there is nothing changing with the format of that file. The way that you retrieve it from payroll and the format that it's in and the steps you take on that side are all remaining the same. The only step that's changing is that you are going to take that file and instead of uploading it to SEBB My Account, you are going to upload it to the Navia employer portal. This is going to result in faster processing times because it'll go straight to Navia, and then more visibility because you will get a confirmation email letting you know that your file was successful. So you don't have to question whether your upload went through. And there will be a screenshot later in the presentation of what that looks like. So if, I know that we're about a month out from launch now, so understandable if these people forget. So to remind you is as of July 13th, if you were to try to go into SEBB My Account on that FSA DCAP page and upload your file, you're not going to be able to. That access is going to be completely removed, and there will be a banner replacing it with a link to Navia's employer portal. So that will remind you to upload it to the new portal. And then again, just can't reiterate enough, there's actually no change to your file format. We're just changing where you upload that file. Yeah. All right. So the next thing, like I said, there was kind of 2 points of feedback we're trying to solve for. One was those monthly payroll files. The next is form submission. So many of you should be familiar with the fact that during open enrollment, employees can either enroll on Navia's portal themselves, or they can submit a paper form to you. We always want to encourage that they do the Navia online portal themselves, because that just gives them so much more control, visibility, confirmation. And I mean, it saves the trees, it's less hassle, right? So anytime we're during the open enrollment season specifically, do feel free to point employees to use the Navia, their side of the Navia portal to enroll. But not everyone is going to do that. Not everyone has access to a computer and things like that. So during that open enrollment timeframe, there are times where you're still going to get a paper form that they've filled out. That's okay. And then also throughout the rest of the year. So as we know, once open enrollment closes, that now the employee can no longer access their own enrollment system online. Everything has to be done through paper. So that includes change of status, special open enrollment events in the middle of the year, new hires who were not eligible during open enrollment. They weren't in the program, and now they want to enroll because they're a brand new hire. Those types of people have to go onto our website and fill out the custom form for SEBB. And then at the bottom of the form, there's instructions for you as the benefit administrator. You have to sign the form, set up your payroll contributions in payroll, approve that this person is eligible. And then your final step is to send that over to Navia. So again, just like the payroll files, nothing in that process is going to change. You as the benefit administrator still need to review the form, sign it, set up your payroll deductions, all of that on your end. The only thing changing is then what you do with that form once it's complete. So again, most of you right now are either are putting that form in a fax machine and sending it off, or in an email and sending it to Navia. The only change is, instead of that step, you're going to log into Navia's portal and you're going to upload it as a PDF there. Again, this is going to result in faster processing times because that's going to get straight to us, and then more accuracy and completeness, because just unfortunately in this day and age, faxes are just not reliable typically. We use an electronic system. So when the fax comes through, it gets put into our electronic queue. And if it is illegible or missing data or cut off, we can't tell who sent it. So there's no opportunity for reaching out to you to say, hey, we need a better fax, or this one failed, that type of thing. But if you're using the portal, first of all, it's secure. You don't have to worry about that employee's information getting leaked out or put in the wrong hands. And then second, it's accurate. So it's not going to be cut off. There's not going to be the issue of it failing. And you do get again, a confirmation email that tells you your upload was successful. Or if it was not successful for some reason, if the file was too large, you will get a notification letting you know it was not successful. So you can make edits and fix it the next time. So again, there's more accuracy, better visibility there. Okay, so with those two changes, now I'm going to walk through what that looks like on the portal, how you actually upload. So once you've registered and you're logged in, you're going to see a menu on the black bar on the left-hand side of the screen, as you can see in my screenshot here. You're going to click on the link that says Data Management out of that menu. And then after you click data management, it will give you an option that says send file. When you click on that, you will be able to add your file or your document by dragging and dropping it or browsing for it on your computer. So looking at the next slide here, this is what that screen looks like. You click send file, that's that first red arrow on the left-hand side there. And then there's the box in the middle of the screen. Let's say you have your form, you have that paper form, you've scanned it in as a PDF and it's sitting on your desktop. You can simply use your mouse and drag and drop it over to that box in the middle of the screen. Or if it's saved in a folder somewhere, you can hit find file on my computer to browse for where that folder lives. There are specifications. Some of you might have the question of what format does it have to be in? What size can it be? Can I upload more than one form at a time? And all those questions are answered in the file size and type limitations on this screenshot here, which you'll see on the portal every time you go to upload. So the answer to can I upload more than one form at once is yes, as long as it's not above the 10 megabytes size limit when you combine those forms together. And then lastly, to the right-hand side of that drag and drop box, you're going to see file description. So there are a couple, there's about 5 different options there. The ones at the bottom that say Cobra, Other, NDT, you'll just want to ignore those. Those aren't going to pertain to your plan. If you did accidentally select one of those, it's not the end of the world. It'll still get to Navia. We'll just probably delay your processing time because it's going to send it to the wrong department, which then needs to be shifted into the right hands before it can get processed. So if you can remember it all, I highlighted the 2 options. The one that ends in the word form, that's what you're going to want to choose if you are uploading an enrollment form or a change of status form, one of those PDFs. And then the one that ends in file/spreadsheet, that's what you should be choosing if you are uploading that monthly payroll file. So that's just going to get it to the exact right department for the most timely and accurate processing. Okay. And then of course, once you've clicked these selections, then you're going to click send in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. After you've clicked send, then it's uploaded directly to Navia. Down in the first screenshot on the left-hand side, that's your green successful message that lets you know right away that your upload was successful. This message will be red and it will tell you it was unsuccessful if, for example, you exceed the size limit or something. And then also that confirmation email I've been talking about so much. This, the next screenshot over you're seeing on your on this slide is a copy of what that email looks like. It's coming from an automated email address at Navia, notification@Navia Benefits. That's not an email you can reply to. Nobody's monitoring that box. It's just for notifications. But it lets you know the title of what you uploaded and that it was successfully received. And that if you have any follow-up questions, you can reach out to us. All right. Well, that concludes my presentation. So I'm going to leave it on this screen while we answer some questions. Again, jot down that contact information for your account management team. Something to keep in mind is please don't give this contact information out to your members. They have our customer service line they should be calling and emailing. This is specifically for benefit administrators to contact Navia. And then one other point that came up again from a question in the last webinar that I wanted to stress is there are OE files, open enrollment files, that Navia uploads to SEBB My Account, one for each of you districts, so you can start your payroll deductions at the beginning of the year. We usually upload those in mid to late December for you to pull down. That process is not changing. At once a year, upload of elections for you to pull down and start your payroll is going to remain the same. We're going to continue using SEBB My Account for that process. All right, that concludes our changes here. So if there's any other questions, let me know.
Yeah, Chelsea, thank you. There's no questions so far, but this sounds like a way better process, definitely more megabytes to be able to upload information onto your portal compared to SEBB My Account, which was only 6 megabytes. So there's no problem there. So Sounds like an easy
Great.
process, and it's going directly to you, so you pass the middle person. So
hmm
if you have questions, please let us know. We'll wait on here for a little bit.
Perfect. And I agree. Yeah. Yeah. The intention, like I said in the beginning, is this was directly in response to your feedback to make your lives easier, make this a better benefit for your members, for all districts. So granted, it's just limited for now, small changes, but I think they're going to make a big impact. And we're really excited to see where we can take it from here and how much smoother this open enrollment season goes with this change.
Yeah, I think a real big plus is that confirmation email, because I don't think SEBB My Account sends a confirmation email when it's uploaded into SEBB My Account. So
I agree. Yeah, that's a question. Navia's account management team, we get that quite a lot, is from districts just looking for that confirmation. Did you get my file? So here there'll be no question.
yeah, just a lot of thank you and appreciation. Questions
Wonderful.
that they're excited about this new process. No real questions. It's very simple. You showed them every step. And again, on July 13th, you'll be able to add Navia to your SAW access.
hmm Yep.
Well, Chelsea, we don't have any big questions. They're just excited. They thank you for listening to them. Very clear and simple process. And it is Friday, so happy Friday. I think next week we might hit 70 degrees, but
Summer might finally show its face in
yeah, it might.
Washington, huh?
It's gonna be a short summer.
It
Every
is.
time
It's been
there's
so
sun, you
chilly
run
today.
out there real quick. And then when it starts raining, you come back in. So
Yep. Well, I will tell you, my 2-year-old it's not deterred him one bit. We've been out playing in the rain with his water table and toys. He's ready for summer.
every chance you get out there and enjoy it.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, Chelsea and Sally, for presenting the information to us. It's very clear. Seems like an easy process. They have all the information, the email address and your phone number right there. And we want to thank you all for joining the webinar today. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And if you have a long weekend on Monday, enjoy that as well. So thank you very much. And we will
Absolutely.
end the webinar now. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. You too.